Evening from NYChessKids. My name is Saudin, and in this lesson, I am going to teach you the opposition. The opposition is very important for the endgames, especially for king and a pawn endgames. Now, if you look at this game here, of course, we would like our pawn to become a queen, right? But if he would push this pawn forward, then the black king can go in front of the pawn and we're not going to be able to progress with our king. So the correct move here is king to c5. Look at this move. Now with this move, we are forcing black to leave the opposition. So we are taking the opposition. This is the opposition, right? Now black has to leave the opposition, and that allows our king to move forward. And now we can win the game by pushing the pawn. We can play a move like king d7, or if you want that rule, king in front of the pawn on sixth rank always wins, right? This is a very simple move, right? Because with this move, we just push the pawn forward and promote the pawn, right? The pawn becomes a queen, and of course, when you get a queen, you already know how to checkmate. So let's see this one more time. The correct move here is king c5. Any other move like king d5 or c5 would be a draw. Because if you play king d5, black goes king d7, you play king c5, black comes back to c7, takes the opposition, and your king cannot progress. So correct move is this. And then the king can progress, and now you can play this move and push the pawn, and when you are here, see the pawn becomes a queen. Let's go to the next position. Here you have to make a draw. The only move that makes a draw for white is king e2. Now, you see the way you take the opposition. Pay attention to the colors. Both kings are on white color. I take the opposition. Both kings are on the dark color, right? Now, if you want to make a draw here, you could play king c2, but you can also play this move and just go towards the king and capture the pawn, right? Let's see one more time. This position, the only move is king e2. If you play any other move, king f1, king f2, king d1, king d2, the game is going to get lost, right? Because then the black king is going to move forward. So the idea here is you have to stop the king. You have to stop the black king, right? You have to play a move like king e2 and not allow the black king to move forward. And that's what's going to give you a draw. Let's see the next one. Now, here we have to play king e5. We take the opposition, and then again we take the opposition, and again we need the opposition so that our king can now move forward. And then we get the same position like from the previous. Let's try now a different way. Let's push the pawn forward. And here the worst would be to push the pawn to c6, because then the black king would take the opposition and make a draw. But if you play king c6, we already know this rule from our previous lessons. King in front of the pawn on sixth rank always wins. Doesn't matter whose move is. And you push the pawn and get a queen. All right, let's see this one more time. So the correct move here is king e5. If you play any other move, king d5 would be a draw, c5 would be a draw, because then the black king can stop the white king. So let's say you play king d5, king d7, king c5, king c7, draw. So this is the move that wins the game, like this. And if you know this, I know you are going to win. Okay, so let's see another one. Now, here, of course, we would like to capture this pawn on b4, right? If you capture the pawn on b4, then we are going to win. And what's a logical move? Logical move is to play king g4 and go this way, but that would be a draw. And I'm going to show you that. But what's correct move? Take the opposition. You play king h4. And now we are going to play king g4, king f4. Look, we are getting closer and closer to the pawn. And now when the pawn is pushed, of course, we cannot take that with the king, because then the black king would go to b5 and make a draw. But if you take with the pawn, king goes here and we take the opposition. And now our king can move forward and we are winning the game. Look, opposition, our king can move forward. We know when we put a king in front of the pawn on sixth rank, we are winning. Doesn't matter now whose move it is. We just push, push, and we are going to win this game. Okay, and we go here, and the pawn becomes a queen. Okay, let's see this one more time. The correct move is king h4. Right, that's the correct. Let's play a bad move. Right, let's play a move so that you see what's wrong with king g4. Right, because now black takes the opposition. Look, black is going to take the opposition, and what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to win this game because now, of course, we have to take, otherwise this pawn is becoming queen. And now black takes the opposition. We play here, black takes the opposition. We play this move, black takes the opposition, and your king cannot progress, cannot move forward, right? And because you cannot move forward, you cannot win this game. Okay, that's about that position. So go back, you need to play king h4. That's correct move. Let's go now to the different one. Let's see this one. Okay, this one is very interesting, right? Look, a rook against the knight is a draw. Now, especially here, there are two pawns for black, right? Now, if you take this pawn on g5, knight takes with a check, we cannot win that game, right? That game would be a draw. But see, because we know the opposition, right? We would take the knight and then take the pawn. So now, because those two pawns here, we know that those, if our king gets to g6, we know we are winning for sure, right? Because the king in front of the pawn on sixth rank wins. So we are taking the opposition, and we go here to attack that pawn. And again, we take the opposition. Now we know we are winning, because when we take this pawn, we are winning. So let's see this one more time. Correct move, rook takes h7. And there's no move for black. Look, doesn't matter what black does here. King g8, king h8. You are going to attack this pawn and win that pawn, right? But here we play the opposition, and again we play the opposition and we win the pawn, and we are winning the game. Let's see this one. This is a distant opposition. Here we need to make a draw. How do we make a draw? We have to play king f1. Right, in order to keep the opposition, is you have to go to the same color of the black king. If you play king f2, you are not going to make a draw. You are going to lose the game. We are going to analyze that. So you play king f1, that's going to give you a draw because you can take the opposition. Now, here you can go to king e2, take the opposition, or you can go in front of on the pawn, right? And we're going to win the pawn. So look, king f1 is correct move. That's how you get the opposition. King f1, right? Let's see what happens if you play a bad move. If you play move like this, what's going to happen is now black can take the opposition. Black is going to play king f4. And when we play king g2, he's going to play king g4 and win the game. Right? Look, king f4, we go here, he plays king g4, and now black is winning. Right? So that's, doesn't matter what we do here. Look, black is going to get his pawn. Look, now I have to leave the opposition. If I'm here, if it's black to move, the game would be a draw. But because it's my turn, I'm leaving the opposition, the black pushes the pawn and wins the game. Okay, that's about that position. Let's see the another one, distant opposition. Okay, here it's white to move, and white should be able to win because white can get the opposition here. Now, what we need to do with the white, we need to get to d4 or f4 so we can move into the black side of the board and capture those pawns. Like if you are here, we go to c5, we need to capture that pawn. So we can play king e2, and you see the black cannot take the opposition. He has to he's actually, we are taking a distant opposition. Pay attention how we go to the same color of the black king. So if you are on the same color of the black king, you are taking the distant opposition, right? Now, black cannot do that. Black has to leave the opposition. If he plays king e7, he's on the different color. That means he's leaving the opposition, right? Now, again, we take the opposition. How do we do that? We go to the same color of the king, right? And and what do we do now? You already know the answer. We have to go to the same color of the king to take the opposition, king e3, right? Not e4, because if you play king e4, then black plays king e6 and takes the opposition. You play king d4, he plays king d6, and you cannot break through. But you take the opposition because you are going to the same color. Now, you need to learn this about the colors. Distant opposition by taking the same color of the black king, we actually got into the opposition, right? And now king e4, we are taking the opposition again, right? Don't play king f4 or king d4 because then black takes the opposition. We take the opposition. We take the opposition. And now we are in the black side of the board and we are winning. Now look at this technique. You also have to learn this, right? We get here, right? We are about to capture and then you play the opposition and then you take. And now we know, of course, we are winning the game, right? So this is something important. Let's see how you, one more time, you see, you could easily make a mistake here by playing king f2, by playing king d2. But here, look, we play the opposition because we know we are going on the same color of the black king and we know we are going to get the opposition. If he goes here, we play king d3. If he plays king f7, we could play king f3, right? So let's see this. And now, of course, we play king e3. This is the key move, the opposition. You take the opposition. And look, it's a distant opposition, and black has to leave the opposition, right? So that's what's important about this position, right? Because now, if he goes, let's say, to f7, we go to d4 and c5 and b5. If he goes to, let me go back one move. If he goes to d7, then we go king f4 and king g5, and we take on h5, right? So that's how the distant opposition works. Think about the colors when you do the distant opposition. Okay, let's go. I'm talking too much, right? Okay, let's see now this one. How do you promote that pawn, right? How can he become a queen? If you push the pawn forward, the game is a draw, right? So look, we have to go with the king in front of the pawn, and now we support that pawn by pushing it, right? And then again, look, the opposition, and we get a pawn to the other side. So we have to, let's go back. We have to play king c5. This is the only move that is going to win the game. Now, in this case, look, this is really all about progressing with your king, right? You want to bring your pawn to the other side, promote the pawn. You need a king. The king has to be going forward, right? And that's how you win the game. Okay, so this one is simple, right? King c5 and king b6, you win the game. Okay, so hey kids, this is the opposition. If you are playing on a chess tournament, this might be important to you. I think you should see this, definitely one more time on your own, going to Elite Chess and then just practicing on your own with a computer. But the best way to practice this would be with the chess teachers in the after-school program, in the private lessons, in the camps. You set up those positions, you take a chess clock, and you play them with your chess teachers and see if you can win them. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. See you next time. Bye-bye.